information.
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually, well, most of the parents, when they get their diagnosis of their child, they feel like the world has broken apart or somebody has
Mm,
died. They're essentially,
yeah,
I felt to myself that my son has died because the way the doctors and the medical system, they vouch for autism, it's like it's a real problem without any solution. But I found out that when you know who you are truly, that's when you
yeah,
know your gifts and your weaknesses. When you know your gifts, you can hone them and bring them to the world. And when you know your weaknesses, you can work through that and overcome them. So it's a real true gift to yourself to know who you really are, which was what I gave to myself on 28th birthday. I was like, I gotta find out what's wrong with me. Okay, growing up, I was like, what's wrong
yeah,
with me? So yeah, after that, I would say my life took a real big turn after the diagnosis of myself because I was like, I now know who I am, how my brain works. Now I no longer belittle myself as being the slow person, as being the person who don't understand social norms as much as I tried my best. And
yeah.
I did understand that voice in my head constantly. I know who that is. Now I know. So it's a true gift to yourself, Saeed. And I'm really looking forward to hearing more about your diagnosis and all of that when you are ready for it. It's
Yeah.
really nice. Yeah,
Thank you. I
you
appreciate
will.
that.
You're welcome.
Something that popped in my head, the question that popped in my head is there's this stigma when people hear about autism that they think that people with autism will tend to have like these gifts of like maybe higher intellect or just capabilities that the average person would not be able to do, because like we have examples of Elon Musk, and then
Hmm.
you also have from movies you have, Rain Man. So are these typical of all people with autism, or is there other things that they are, better at?
There are lots of other things. It's not well. The stigma that comes is because most of the kids on the spectrum and when they get diagnosed, they are not functioning well. That's why they get diagnosed, right? If you are doing well in school, if you are doing well with education or verbally, you are speaking, you are understanding your parents, you know, commands and instructions and things like that, you will not be taken to a doctor for a diagnosis. You are
Yeah,
only taken to a diagnosis exam and whatnot just because you are not functioning well. So I would say the majority part of the kids on the spectrum, they're struggling. Okay, so when a parent sees a child struggling to talk, struggling to take care of themselves, and be the version that a neurotypical same age version would be, that's
yeah,
when the parents, the society, and we all think that it's a problem. Well, I would say it is. As a mom, I saw my son struggle so much. He could not say, he could not communicate. He was completely nonverbal, and then he could not hold on to things, he could not play because his muscles have such less of tonicity. He had hypotonia. He could not chew his food. He could not climb stairs. He would bang his head. He would stay up at all ungodly hours all throughout the night. So most of the parents who are going through this, we know that it's actually really hard for the child and for the parents or the family in as a whole. So that is why the stigma is coming. But now that after 4.5 years of working on him and he is completely verbal, full range of communication, alhamdulillah, he's eating full range of diet that he was previously not able to. He is talking, he's going to a public school, he's now in grade 2. He's making friends, he's calling them at home, he's inviting. So what I'm saying is he's just like your average 7-year old. So for
yeah, yeah,
me, who is now on the other side of the struggle, I am enjoying my life with him. Now it's not a stigma for me. But the same mom 4 years ago, it was a
mhm,
stigma for me. When I took him outside and he was acting weirdly, making weird faces and whatnot, others will look at him like, what the heck? Why is that kid behaving awkwardly? And here's the thing. We always, as a psychologist, I would say Ali would really would understand what I'm saying here. We always think that the world is just from our perspective. We only see the world through our lens, right? We usually don't put ourselves in the shoes of others. So as a mom who's struggling, if I see another mother or another person looking at my child like that, I would feel angry towards her. I would say like, oh my God, she is not, or they're not understanding the neurodiversity. They're not including us. But have you ever thought about the other person, that for them it's not normal? They are not used to it. They don't see it often. So for them, it's a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And for
Yeah.
humans, we don't take difference normally. We like to see things in repetition. We like to see things that we know so that we feel confident or we feel like safe. Yeah. That's why whenever we see something out of the ordinary, we feel weird and we behave in a weird way. So I would say, rather than trying to, feel it like a stigma, first thing is to know why your child is having all of the struggles, and then helping the child through natural modes, through understanding psychology, through understanding brain, how brain functions, through understanding how you can improve the brain function through nutrition, through lifestyle changes, through proper guidelines and need-based parenting as well. So all of those things are like the 5 pillars that I always talk about. So
Mm-hmm.
when you are working on your child on the spectrum, the stigma only comes because of the narrow mindset or the narrow approach that you have. You might not know that you can overcome a lot of the child's struggles and give them a regular life. And then it will no longer be a stigma. Now, if I
Yeah.
take my child outside, any of his teachers, they were saying like, does he have any special needs? I was like, well, he used to have these, and he was like, Mom, are you kidding? Because I don't see anything there. I was like, we have worked on those things, Alhamdulillah, we have
Mm-hmm.
overcome. And then they're like interested, what did you do for him? Then I'm like, I changed the diet, I worked on his gut, because the gut is second brain, and the brain is the first brain, and the brain needs a lot of neurotransmitters, and that is effectively produced by the gut. So
Wow.
working on the diet, working on the brain functioning through the gut is what has helped me, and what is helping our huge student base, alhamdulillah. We are
Alhamdulillah.
working with 54 different country parents from all across the board. We have various ethnicities, backgrounds. So yeah, I have seen it work time and time again, which makes me realize that autism will no longer be a stigma if A, you understand what autism is, and B, you understand why your child is struggling through certain things, and C, you focus on those struggles and remove those obstacles.